Hello and welcome to SoBricks. I'm Adam and this is SoBricks. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the brand new Lego Speed Champions Formula 1 Oracle Red Bull Racing Car. This is set number 77243. It has 251 pieces, and I paid $27 for this. So this is part of the run of F1 stuff. They're, branded kind of like the City F1 stuff, and all the F1 stuff that they've been doing kind of have this branding, cross theme branding. This is one of the Speed Champions that did come with the 18 plus tag on it, and in a slightly different box, just because it's Red Bull and because of certain regulations in various markets, they don't want to have energy drinks marketed towards people younger than that, and that's fine. These officially come out, I think, from Lego on March 1st. I'm recording this a little bit early. I was able to get a bunch of these early. Some retailers put them out early. I don't know if there were any, occasionally some big retail stores will have a deal with Lego that they can sell stuff early. I don't know if that's the case here, but I was able to get a couple of these and at least record this video, before the official release date, which is always a nice thing. And I'm really excited. I liked the McLaren F1. I think the Aston Martin 2-pack that maybe had an F1 car in it in Speed Champions. I don't know if I ever reviewed that one. I probably have it sitting somewhere sealed, but I am super intrigued by these, excited to see the new wheels, and there's going to be a bunch of these, and I don't think they're as simple as recolors, reskins. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing what the differences are in the builds and the piece usages and stuff, because Speed Champions is a great theme, really great theme. So I'm excited for this, and we'll get into it. So in this video, I'm going to open this up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up, and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy. Okay, so while we look at the build for this Lego Speed Champions Formula 1 Oracle Red Bull Racing RB20 F1 race car set, I just wanted to say thanks for watching, and then remind you, if you like the video, click the thumbs up, please. And if you like my other videos, click the subscribe button, please. That stuff helps me a lot, means a lot to me. You can support the channel by giving money to the channel, membership, supers, and thanks, Patreon, buy me a coffee, affiliate links, all that good stuff. And then I wanted to talk about the build. So this is the new wave of Formula 1 Speed Champions. And this one, surprisingly, did start with a chassis kind of starter piece. That's actually a really classic Lego piece that's been around for a long time. I love that they've used it here. I don't know if all of the Speed Champions Formula 1 cars are going to use that, but they did here, and I was pretty excited about that. I did have an issue with one of my stickers here. There's a pretty noticeable white spot on it, and I do talk about that in the full review. You can see the shape of this starting to come together, but it's still only about half size. There is a good amount of the building in terms of density and mass that is put into the rear half of this, and that makes sense given how these cars are made, and now we can start adding stuff that's going to eventually lead to the nose of this. Of course, there is a pretty substantial sticker sheet here. I didn't have a ton of problems with it, but it is important to note that. This part I didn't really like, putting the stickers on the back side of bracket pieces. That was not my favorite, but that's can be forgiven here, and it is really coming together. We're almost to the end. We can make up the pieces that are kind of for the front axle there. We also can make this subassembly for the front kind of wing there, which is very cool. If you've built other Speed Champions F1 cars, oh, my hair was in there a little bit. That doesn't normally happen, my mistake. And if you build other Speed Champions, this one's probably not too crazy, but I did really enjoy it. There's some new stuff here, and overall it's really good. So now on to my review for this set. Okay, so that is the Lego Speed Champions Formula 1, the Oracle Red Bull Racing RB20 F1 race car set. This is really great. I'm so like, I don't know how in depth I want to go into all of these because there are going to be some similarities and some not. I think Tiago has a video out where they kind of go over a bunch of these. Tiago is a Lego YouTuber who used to work for the Lego company as a set designer, and they review sets there. They have I think like a 6-minute video where they kind of talk about all of these Formula One sets. And generally when I review sets, even if I'm reviewing a small set, my videos turn out to be 20 or 30 minutes, which I like to do, but I don't know if viewers really like, but that's just my thoughts on that. And this is really interesting. So we're going to get into it. I'm going to note, because I'm building this set early, technically before the release date, I wasn't able to use the digital instructions. Most of the time I do that, but I wasn't able to in this case, so I might as well point out, this is an 18 plus set. I'm not sure if all the Speed Champions are going to have stuff like this. A lot of times they'll have kind of, this one's not super detailed. It doesn't have like about the designer, or because it's not like an ideas set, but it doesn't even have like, who designed this for the Lego company or anything like that, or any little tidbits here. I mean, it does have some stats about the top speed here, and comparing the model, the Lego version, to a picture of the real version, which is nice to see. But that's all that's in here, and I just wasn't able to use the digital instructions yet, so I'll put that to the side, and we'll get into this. And the first thing we will look at is the minifigure, and you get one in all of these sets. I will note that these aren't supposed to be specific named drivers, real F1 drivers. They're supposed to be like generic F1 drivers, and so I'm not going to refer to them as any names, even if they might have a passing resemblance to somebody. Frankly, I don't know the names of all the F1 teams' drivers, so it is what it is. And I do believe there's also like a good mix of gender expression and stuff between the minifigures for drivers here, which I don't think that same kind of diversity is really represented in F1 drivers. But anyway, here we can see the minifigure. They do have the wrench there, the big wrench kind of pry piece, which is in all the Speed Champion sets. And we can see this one here, pretty basic minifigure. But one of the things about these, and I don't know if they had these in any of the city sets. I did look at an F1 set that I think is like the Ferrari one, where you can like change out the tires and you can have the workers like go in. It's kind of like a pit stop thing. I did look at that. I don't think I've reviewed it yet. I can't remember if these helmets were there. So these are a new helmet design. They are dual molded. They have kind of the extra back going on here, extra little details there. And then they have the dark translucent, or like the I think that's trans black or trans brown, unless it's trans red for this one. I could be convinced, but I'm not 100% sure. At certain angles it looks one way, and certain angles it looks another, but those are all just one piece together, and you can kind of see that in here. And this is also printed, so we kind of have the Red Bull to Bull logo there, which is very cool to see. Looking at the driver without the helmet, they do come with an extra hair piece, which is very nice to see. So kind of spiky blonde hair. This driver does have some facial hairs, maybe more masculine presenting. There's no alternate face for this character. The face printing is pretty good. It doesn't feel especially unique. Looking at the torso, it's mostly like the colors here, kind of that dark blue. We do have the printing details of like a lighter blue there, unless it's purple. I'm not really sure. There's for like this racing suit, there is some other little details and where the like seam is in there, and it also has the Red Bull logo. No printing on the midsection, no printing on the legs, no printing on the arms. Back of the torso is very much the same as the front, without some of the extra like little corners of red kind of up here on the shoulder, aren't on the back. And I think for all of these, F1 Speed Champions, the drivers, I believe, are going to be somewhat generic. They might have like branding on the torso. I don't know if any of them have printed legs, and I that's just what it is. I mean, Speed Champions figures, there is like a range. I feel like there have been some with, more detailed prints. There's also been Speed Champion sets that essentially just have like civilian drivers. So it's not that big of a deal, and this might end up being an exclusive print to the exclusive torso to this set. I'm not 100% sure, but anyway, good to get the figure there. And then the rest of the set is the vehicle here, and this is great. There's a lot to get into here, and I really, really enjoyed this build. One of the things I'll point out right away, sticker sheet here. Speed Champions, especially like Formula One ones or NASCAR or stuff like that, a lot of stickers. And that's partially like contractually with the licensing, with the liveries and the team, the sponsors of the teams and all that stuff. So like a lot of these were going to be there, and they weren't going to make prints of all of these. Not to mention, would be a ton of unique prints, and they're already like hesitant to do prints. There are like more printed pieces, and I think they've done a good job about that in the last wave of Speed Champions. I thought there was more printed pieces than I expected, and this one is maybe less. There's actually a couple here that I thought were going to be printed and were not. And there is some spots in here where we put stickers on things that I'd rather not. They're just not my favorite to do. I'll go into it. This goes up to 30. There is a couple that are like duplicates, like 13s are the same. I think there's maybe a couple other ones. 28s are the same. So there's a few that are like duplicated, so I don't know what that makes it, 34 or something, 32 different stickers here. The sticker sheet's actually not that big. They packed it on here pretty good. I feel like I've seen bigger ones in other Speed Champion sets. Maybe they didn't have more stickers necessarily, but they had like bigger ones. You can see like a lot of these are going to fit on 1x2s or something close to that. There's only a few sort of bigger ones there. So pretty much everywhere you're going to see details on here. It's going to be a sticker, and I think I'm going to point out the prints right away, and then you can kind of assume everything else is a sticker. So we will get into that. And looking at the back here, I think this might be in all of the F1 things. This is a tile with this array of like silver dots on it, and both of mine, I don't know if this is intentional or not, but they're not like super centered on there. Maybe that's something I don't know about F1 or something like that, but that just is what it is. So like the tiles that I got weren't 100% centered. The wheels are printed, and so are the discs inside there for the rims. So the actual rubber of the wheels has like printing going around. You can kind of see that red, and then these black discs in the middle have printing on it. This piece, which is kind of this faceted pointy piece, has the printing on it with the bull. Same on the other side. They're not the same piece, but they have a similar printing in there. The steering console, the steering wheel type thing in there is printed. We also have this kind of nose piece here, which is printed. I do not believe that piece is like dual molded. I think I should be able to take it off. Yeah, it's not dual molded. We can tell here because it doesn't have like the blue there, but it is printed on the top. It is printed on the side. The printing does go all the way to the edge. There's no yellow peeking through between the blues here. So we do know Lego can do that, even though they don't always do that. And actually going down to the bottom of the piece here, it also goes all the way up to the edge. So that's just interesting. They do have these capabilities. And then we also have the printing up on this 1x1 cheese wedge here. I think that's all of it. The rest of them are going to be stickers. So of course, you know, up here, oh sorry, there is another one. Actually, there's two more. So the one right here, which is a horse with wings, I don't know what logo that is. It's kind of a Pegasus type looking thing, sort of jumping there. So that one's there. And there's another one on the other side. You do get an extra of each of these because there's two, because they need to be facing different ways. And we can kind of see what that looks like. So there is two of them there, and they face different ways. So it's not as simple as just turning it around. Stickers then, like on the side, mobile, or this Bibite or Bibite, the Red Bull stickers there. Of course, all like the Visa, CDW, Zoom Mobile, Pirelli, all Arctic Wolf, and what else we Infinitum, I don't know. Those are all like printed on there. We have the stickers on these newer pieces up here for this wave. So we put the Hard Rock stickers on there. This is a sticker, and on a relatively new piece, I think, the Bybit or whatever is a sticker in there. Same is this sticker on the side and the other side. Oracle is a sticker, same on the other side. The mobile that sits kind of under the mirror there, the Visa, same on the other side. This rocked in there, and the striping is a sticker. This is a sticker on here for this slope, kind of continuing that striping. Same for this one. It doesn't have a brand on it, but it does have that stripe. Actually, one of my stickers here has a pretty noticeable spot on it, and I tried to like scratch it off, but it seems like it's a print error or something, a little imperfection there that's pretty noticeable on that. So that could have been dealt with maybe in quality control or something. I might request a new sticker sheet just so I can fix that, because that does jump out at me a little bit, and I don't think it's intentional there. Then we have, the Red Bull here, the Honda back here. At the rear, I was really hoping this piece was going to be printed. It's not. I think this is a new piece, or a new-ish piece that's kind of this like 2x6 brick, but it's like a inverted kind of slope piece there, so it's concave, I believe. So that's a sticker in there. I don't love like putting stickers on kind of concave surfaces like that, but this one worked out okay. There's also the Oracle at the back of that, Mobile One here, same on the other side, and I want to say that's a pretty good like overview of all of them. Oh, there's a couple more. These are hard to see. Back here on the inside of the fin there's one over on the other side as well. So those are present, and I believe we're closing in on all of them. So a good amount of stickers. They were paced relatively well throughout the build. There's only a couple instances, particularly like up at the front, where when you do build this, because it's one of the later things you add on, the kind of nose element of this, so you do put those stickers on in quick succession. None of them are particularly difficult to apply. I don't frankly love what they've done down here. This is on the back of a bracket piece, so these studs are going out here, and basically you take a 1x2 bracket that goes up to a 2x2, like on the vertical face, and then you put one of those 2x2 tile, like half tile, half place pieces on there. So that's what this tile is, and there's studs over here. And then once you put that on, you put that sticker on the back of that bracket piece, and that's not my favorite kind of thing to do there, but I didn't find it terribly challenging. And then I wanted to talk about the build. So this does use a chassis, which I was surprised by. I don't know if all of them are going to use that. It's a little bit hard to see because a lot of it gets covered up even on the bottom, but we can see kind of the basis of one of those kind of starter brick, starter plate type chassis things, which it's cool to use that as a base. I wouldn't expect that. I don't anticipate all of them using that, but I could be wrong. Pretty early on, we lay kind of the groundwork for the front and, well, actually the rear. So you can see we have some studs on the side, some brackets used in here. There's some interesting building in there that, and you know what? Is there's not stickers that are getting covered up, I don't think. I would be very surprised. But you know, we build up kind of this, which allows for this little channel to kind of run through here, which is really well considered. I think the shaping on that is really nice. So we start building that up. We do add like a layer or two-ish of plates on the bottom, which is good. Stud on the side and bracket usage really early on. This is also where they connect a Technic piece, which is actually the similar piece that's used up there. It's like a 1x2 with two partial beams with an axle hole through them. I'm not the best at describing them, but it's, well, let's just find it in here. It would look like something like this. This one's pretty covered up, but it's a pretty common piece that is used, and there's two of them in here. There's one used in the rear and one used up front. It's still sort of present there. You can start to see more of it. Looks like this or like this. So we have one of those in the front. We also have one of those in the back, and that's all very good. There was some interesting building once we like kind of got out the back. You go down. This is actually a 2x4 jumper, so it has two studs on top, and we put a 1x2 with an axle hole and then a 2x2 round brick with a pinhole through there, and then the axle is what connects to that piece I was just pointing out, and then the pinhole ones are where the axle actually is of the vehicle here. So that was really interesting. I also thought that there was some interesting building techniques and parts usages. They make use of the minifigure like accessory that goes around the neck piece. It's clear and has two studs on the back. They use that on this Technic, you know, partial pin, partial axle, and then they put these slope pieces, these 1x4s, upside down on there. I thought that was really unique, surprised to see that, and I think it looks really, really great to get this like super low profile, low clearance through there. I really like the color blocking on here. All of the colors, you know, you do see most of them. Even the ones down here are like on theme, on brand, which is nicely considered. I know like a lot of this stuff that's down here does get covered up to some extent, but if you really kind of look in there, you might see different things. So the color blocking is really nice. Comparing it to the picture in the front, they did a really good job with, you know, matching up the livery, I think, which is great. A couple other sort of building technique things. We've seen what they've done with these pieces and the kind of fin here. This is like a minifigure ski piece. We've seen them do that similar here. We use a couple kind of interesting seats or pieces for the seat. This is a window pane piece in yellow there. And then we do build a seat. They do not lean back far. And so I think, you know, realistically, F1 drivers don't sit this upright, and here we have kind of the bar piece. I don't know what piece this is called, but it does sit in front of them. It does cover them up a little bit. I'm still not sure, you know, how perfectly accurate that is, and potentially, you know, if you take off this clip piece or just move it a little bit differently, maybe you could have it lower if you wanted it to be lower. It does cover up a little bit of this here, but that doesn't look too bad. I don't know technically if it's supposed to be like higher to be safer or lower to be safer. I don't know what's like the right way because I'm not like a crazy F1 fan, but there's some nice building in here, nice use of the like key ring piece in there, which is great. Overall, a lot of like studs on the side. There's an element in here where you use an inverted slope, and then you use a stud on the side brick, and you actually put these Visa stickers on the flat side of the stud on the side brick. And if you look in here, you can kind of see where those studs are in there. So that allows it so that it's not like it won't collapse under pressure in there, but those studs like aren't connected to anything. It's the same on the other side. For the most part, this is going to be pretty split down the middle here. I just think it was really impressive how they've got sort of how this tapers out in various levels here, and how they got this kind of air channel or whatever this is represented in there, which is really, really nice. Tons of details in here. Once you get up to the front, the building techniques, I think, get a little bit easier, a little less mind-blowing, a little less innovative in this one in particular. We do come down to about 1 stud wide here and then build back out to 8, so there's some jumpers underneath that. I think this tapers nicely. These are new pieces here that have kind of these like strut things there. They attach with an axle. You can pretty easily pop those off, and we can put a half pin, half axle over there. So it kind of has the wheel flap or the fender, whatever, for the front there. It's all like molded into one piece. That's really, really great. You know, they knew that they were making a bunch of F1 cars, so it's great to see them make that piece available, because they are going to be producing a ton of them. So that's really, really good, and it looks a lot better than some of the previous versions, I would say. I like that we see like the top-down view here, so you can really see kind of the, like, almost like these little teeth being used in there. And because of the way that this is built, you know, you can kind of see me adjusting little pieces. Like this kind of little sub-assembly here only attaches to 1 stud, and this whole stack of these claw or barb like pieces here, or teeth pieces, only attaches on 1 stud. So things might not be like 100% perfect. You know, this piece only attaches on 1 stud there, and there's a few other places where, you know, the connections aren't the most strong, but they're pretty serviceable. I think for play and certainly for display, they're going to end up being fine, but they're not as durable of sets as, you know, like a city version of something of these there. And that's for this one. This one isn't technically an 18+ one. I don't know if there's anything about this build that makes it 18+. I really think it's only the branding. And I'm anticipating maybe some of the other ones that aren't, you know, tagged as 18+ sets might have more difficult building techniques here. Overall, this was straightforward to me. I've built a lot of Speed Champions, and especially like 8 wide ones, and so I'm pretty familiar with this. And I also have built like F1 cars in this form factor, so you know, I didn't have too much trouble with it. It actually came together kind of quick. You know, good amount of time trying to place stickers. Another really important thing here is the wheels. So we have different wheels. They are slicks, which was great when they introduced those, when they decided to make those. But we have the smaller, like narrower wheels and the in the front, and the thicker wheels, wider wheels in the back, which is appropriate. And I know that was like a complaint that a lot of people had. That was also with the Ayrton Senna McLaren Icon set. Those slicks were great. They were big. They were like chunky and heavy, and they were the same front to back. And now there's a new one, which is it another Red Bull car? I don't know. There's a new Icons that's kind of a display thing with a little driver, and I think for that one they might have made bigger wheels for the back again. So it seems like Lego is, you know, listening a little bit more. Maybe that's also partly from the F1 community or F1 organization themselves, although I would think that would have come into play, you know, previously here. I don't know what all goes into this. You know, the spoons as the mirrors we've seen before. Like I said, the building up here is pretty much the same, but this is great. I think it looks terrific, and I'm really, really happy with this. One of the things I wanted to do, and I don't think I'm going to do this with every one of these that I build, but I do plan on getting every one of these F1 Speed Champions, as well as the other Speed Champions that release, you know, throughout the year. I just wanted to know, because we kind of have a new version of this. This is a McLaren F1 vehicle from last year or 2 years ago here. And it's interesting to see the differences. There's a little bit of a difference in size. Let me actually see if I have, did I get a McLaren early? I did not, but I do have this one that's somewhat similar. So maybe I'll take a peek at that. But there's a new version of this, or a similar version of this, kind of with the modern livery, or the previous year livery, but this is a lot different. I mean, the wheels are the same width here, and look at how they did the axles there. And I thought it was really cool when they used these like bucket handle pieces to kind of get the impression of the struts or whatever. But what they've done on the new ones is like a million times better. It just looks a little bit weird and a little bit thin in there, a little bit empty in here in a way that maybe it shouldn't. So that's like a huge upgrade on its own. Actually, yeah, if we look here, this has the same kind of technique with the ski in between those. And this one was interesting because it did have like prints for the orange and the blue, and same here, but then the chrome was a sticker. That would have been a real pain on this Red Bull one. There's a few other, major differences just because just the different makes of the cars and everything there too. But this is a little interesting kind of comparison here. And I wanted to compare one more that I had that is a previous Speed Champions F1 one. And that is the Mercedes like Petronas, what is it called? Is it Patronus? Here, because this is really interesting. We do have another kind of version of this with the modern livery here and everything. And I believe I have that one, or it's at least similar. It is still the like AMG Patronus team. And so I think there are going to be some similarities. I got a few of these early. I'm not going to have time, unfortunately, to review all of them early and get them out early. But this looks, like a much better updated version of this. I think this one too, like we weren't using the bucket handles for the kind of struts or whatever. We were actually using that T-bar piece there. The axles stand out a little bit more for me on this one. And these tires are not it for this one either. These have tread. They're too thin. They're the same size. So we can kind of see the progression here and the overall kind of evolution of what this is. Like the shaping on this is way more simple. Same for the pieces back here. We've introduced like new pieces since they started. This is even like another maybe slightly smaller one. The back kind of wing is smaller, and there's a lot of differences between these. There's certainly a lot of similarities too, but it's kind of cool to see how much they've changed. I'm not sure what year this one came out, but even just little things like pointing out those elements, how they've upgraded it. When they use the bucket handles here, I thought that was pretty great, pretty revolutionary perhaps, but I thought it was awesome when they started getting slick wheels. And now we have the slick wheels, we got the different width, we have these special kind of pieces up front, and a lot of other stuff that went into this. I think I kind of pointed out most of what I think are new pieces. I want to say this 2x2 tile that's rounded up here on one side might be relatively new. There's the like 1x2 cheese wedge, like it's like what the vented slopes were, but without the vents there. That's solid all the way through. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that like screamed out to me in this instance that was like a piece I wasn't 100% familiar with. There are pieces that are like relatively new in the past couple years that came into play a bit, but I think that's most of what I got here. And I think this is terrific. I think this is great. I'm a Speed Champions fan. I like all the Speed Champions, and I've been consistently impressed with them. I think it's going to be a little bit different looking at these because there are so much similarities in the form factor here for the F1 line of these. I can't remember how many they are, if it's 10 or 12 or something like that. There are going to be a lot of similarities. There are going to be differences. I hope the differences are, maybe bigger than it might appear from the outside. So I'm looking forward to that. But then I am also excited for Speed Champions to go back and maybe do some like movie cars, like the James Bond or Fast and Furious ones, and maybe some, just other civilian vehicles, and maybe more concept cars, and different racing promotions and organizations, and lots of different stuff. So I am looking forward to that. I am also looking forward to the rest of these Formula One ones. This was a great way to start. Very happy I was able to look at this. Happy I was able to get these early in this instance. I did buy these with my own money. I don't get these sent to me. I don't get like promotional stuff from the Lego group. I'm not in the Lego ambassador program or anything like that, or what do they Lego Ambassador Network. I'm not part of that. So I bought these early. I was just able to find them in a store early, and it happened to be early enough that I could record some videos and get them released hopefully in time, or that they might come out before these are on the shelves. You might be able to find them on a store near you in these shelves already at the time we're recording this, but otherwise March 1st, which is quickly approaching. So we'll see. And I think that's all here. The figure could be better, but it's pretty good. This is all right. I will show the extra pieces because you do get some. Like I said, we get extras of like the prints. So the cheese wedge up here, the print that's on the back there, also both of the ones that have kind of the flying horse on them. This is a relatively new piece where it's a like hollow stud with like half of a plate thickness, or half of a tile is a really thin part there, and then on the back side is just a clip. I don't believe these are the first sets that made use of this. I think they have been popping up, but it is maybe new for 2025 or just the end of 2024 or something. So that's a super useful piece that's going to help a lot of mock builders and stuff like that. I always love getting the extra of the 1x2 rounded version of this one that doesn't have the stud on it, extra spoon in there, all your 1x1s, your studs, your tiles, your tiny pieces, a little bit of Technic in there as well. So those are all your extra pieces. And this set is 251 pieces, one minifigure. It retails for $27. Not too long ago, the Speed Champions were 25, and not too long before that, they were 20 and could be pretty reliably found for a discount. Since they've moved up to $27, I've been really, really impressed with them. It just that Speed Champions used to be like the sleeper theme that was a great value, with great innovative building techniques and awesome play and display potential, and were like in this really good price range. And maybe we had it too good for too long or something, but they were kind of a gem in the Lego catalog, I felt like. And then we saw the price increase in 25. Okay, we still might see them for a little, closer to 20 or something, because taking $5 off 25, which is 20%, we're getting down to the $20 price range. And some of those that were started at 25 and the ones that were at 20 could pretty reliably be found for 16 or even less, which is like a really great deal. I think I got a bunch of the Lotus and even the Aston Martin like James Bond car, and like I got some of those for like $12 or something, which is like, whoa, it's mind-blowing. Then last year they started doing them at 27, and the first wave of them, which included that McLaren F1 card that I showed, I was really impressed with it. There was also like the Mustang like Dark Horse, and there was an Audi, and I was like kind of blown away by it a little bit because they were so good and so fun, and they had more printed elements than I thought. So I was like, this price is okay. I think we're probably still fine here. I wish these were cheaper. I think, and I know that they are like selling the like 10 pack or the 12 pack of all of these, but there's no discount for that. it would have made more sense in my mind to have, like, if you're buying them all at once, kind of in one go, maybe you get sort of a slightly reduced price per set, but they didn't have that. I don't know how much goes into licensing and whatever here in terms of like value and piece count and weight and stuff. I still think there's value here. I don't want these to go up to $30. I'm not going to be surprised, frankly, when they do. I don't know what my upper limit is on like the quality and the amount of stuff. If it stays the same or does go up a little bit as the price goes up, if it goes up, I might stick with it. But at a certain point, this might be a theme that I do really love and have loved in the past, but I'm not super thrilled that it's going up. $20 is an important price point to hit for lots of different reasons. I've talked about it at length in other videos. $25 is an important price point to hit. $27, fine. It's better than $30. So, and it's better than $29 and it's better than $28. So we're at $27 here. I am comfortable with that price. That's the price I paid. I'm also not 100% certain that these won't go on sale, especially some of the teams, some of the racing teams that are maybe less popular than Red Bull or Ferrari or McLaren or like all these other ones, maybe teams that aren't winning as much or, any number of things, or just like the big names. Those I would assume will go on sale. Maybe even some of the bigger ones will go on sale eventually as well. So I wouldn't be too surprised about that. And I'm at peace with 27. It took me a while to get there. I was pretty upset about it when the rumor that they were going up came out. This was, already some time ago. And we're here. We've been here. I think they're delivering. I think these have lived up to what I expect from Speed Champions, which is great. And, developing new parts, it has been like huge for Speed Champions, and recolors and new prints and all that stuff. So there is like production and R&D stuff that goes into here that are costs. Those costs get passed to the consumer. I wish they didn't. Lego could afford to eat some of those things, but potentially that's not how business is done, and that's not how businesses make as much money as Lego makes. I like to think that they can afford to make less, but that is what it is. They have a pretty significant market share in the brick building toy model market there. So that is what it is. $27. I don't feel ripped off. I'm very happy with this, and I'm excited to look at the rest of them. So that is that. I love this set, and I'm looking forward to it. So I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did, and that is it. So great. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I'll be doing here in the future, including a bunch more of the Lego Speed Champions Formula 1. When there's new Speed Champions sets that release, I'll be covering those as well, provided they stay near the price point and quality here. And then tons of other Lego sets, other F1 sets like the city ones and different stuff. Sets from all different themes, all different shapes, size, price point, piece count, tons of different stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming Lego videos. Subscription's a great way to support the channel. Helps me a lot, and it's free. So maybe consider doing that. It's a tremendous help, and I appreciate it. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers. It'd be great to get there. So thank you very much. And then if you want to support the channel in a different way, you can give money to the channel. Like I said, I'm not in LAN. I pay for all this stuff with my own money. I don't make a ton of money from YouTube. I've made a little bit, but not nearly as much as I spend on these sets to review, which I would do anyway. But if you want to give back because you enjoy my videos, maybe you've watched 100 of my videos and they're all 30 minutes, it's a significant amount of time. I'm happy to provide that to people at no cost to them. No one should feel pressured or needed. Nothing's really ever going to be paywalled, and so, but if you wanted to give back, there are ways to do that. It is appreciated. Nobody has to. Nobody needs to. There's the Patreon. There's a link in the description. There's a Buy Me a Coffee link. There's some affiliate links. There might be an affiliate link to buy this set, and you could buy this set with no additional cost to you. Get it shipped to you. I might get a fraction of a penny, and that would add up, maybe to something someday. So maybe consider checking out those affiliate links. Any of that stuff helps, and I am very grateful for anybody who made it this far. Thank you very much. And with all that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.